Hi, good evening, and welcome to On the Line. And I'm your host, Britton NewOne Carter. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this show, I'd like to take a moment to remind you as to how to find us. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at On the Line TV Show. And you can also interact with us and watch On the Line. One of the things that happened here recently this week, and I want to take a moment to really address it, and that's the departing of a very dear friend, Miss Billie Jean. She earned her wings today. She was a great pillar in the community. She did a lot of great things to help struggling addicts. She recently earned her wings this weekend, and she's gone home. So, if you can, say a silent prayer for Miss Billie Jean. Tonight, on this show, of course, here I am again telling you it's somebody special. Well, tonight is somebody that's uniquely special, okay? So tonight I have with me a woman whose talents they just span. They're far-reaching. This woman is a unique talent, a very special talent. Tonight I have on the line Miss Ingrid Rachel. Miss Rachel, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Now, I want to jump right into this because the time just goes so quick and you got so much to give us, So I like to start out with, who is Rachel? Who is Miss Ingrid?
Born and raised in Cincinnati, so I'm a hometown girl, and came from a single parent home. Grandmother raised me, and music was always a part of the household. Come to find out, my biological grandfather actually sang and had a record out in Detroit, when Hitsville and all that was going on, so it was kind of trippy. But I've been singing as far as I can remember, local talent shows and things of that nature, and took it professional. So pretty much me, mom, now. And
so your grandfather was in conjunction with Hitsville, so he was around talents such as Marvin Gaye and those types of things. Oh, wow.
So yeah, his name was Louis Curry, and his big hit was called Toast to You.
Okay.
And so that was his big claim to fame.
Okay.
So I didn't know him extremely well, but it was just a kind of a fun fact that I found out later.
Right, that's great. And I'm not going to claim to know that song. I'm not going to be telling on my age. Y'all know I got a complex about that. But I may have heard a couple of those lyrics.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So you grew up here in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. You went to what school?
I went to both Withrow and Performing Arts.
Okay.
High school wise, and then college I went to NKU, and then I went to UC, and that's where I finished out.
Okay.
At UC.
So your degree is in
Psychology.
Great, fantastic. So, but your main focus has been in the arts.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your early days with music. How did you get started in the music? I know your grandfather was a great influence, and it was in the home, but how did you personally get into booking shows and that type of thing?
Booking show. Well, I didn't get into that until later, to about 2012 is when I decided, you know what, I'm about to start back performing again, because I missed it, and a lot of people wanted to sing. You still singing? Why don't you sing no more? Why don't you do this? And opportunities in Cincinnati kind of dried up for local artists. So, coming up, we had Best of the Best, and we had the Wiz did a lot of stuff on the Square.
Right.
So it was a lot of things to where youth could actually showcase their talent in a constructive manner and get the training and learn the business, and that it dried up in Cincinnati. So it was kind of okay, what are you doing? I've always been kind of a self-starter. And so I got a group of friends that I went to performing arts with, and we got together, and that's how the Ingrid Rachel project was formed.
Okay. So tell us just a little bit more about the Ingrid Rachel project. Mm-hmm. So what all does it encompass?
It is my stage name. I actually got it from rest in heaven. Don Maynard was my guitarist, and I met him through Lady J Shades of J because doing the poetry circuit. I would go to like the open mic up at Greenwich, and I met them. Rob Poets was up there, and then I met Lady J and Gifted, all of them. And so they were there, and Lady J really embraced me. So I started doing kind of like backup for her, kind of ease me back in. And so I was doing backup for her, and Don and I became like really, really close. He's like, you should really get out there and start doing it again. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm this, I'm that. And so he was like, yeah, when you go and when you do it, you should call yourself Ingrid Rachel Project, because girl, you mad, you a project. You a whole lot, you know. And so, you know, but because I'm silly and I'm you know, just really immersed into everything. And so I really don't hold back on stage. I'm just myself. I don't like really put on a persona or anything. Like what you see is what you get with me.
Okay. I like that, kind of like in your face. I like that.
Yeah.
And speaking of Don Maynard, he passed about a year ago.
Actually,
about a year, 2 years ago.
It'll be 3 years.
3 years now already. 3 years. Yeah. Great guy. I had an opportunity to meet him and share some great moments with him. Eric Bolden.
Played the drums.
Yeah, we went to school together and we went to Woodward together. Yeah. Hey, Eric. And,
hi, Eric, darling. How are you, darling?
My man. You are, man. So you came up rubbing elbows with Don Maynard, hanging out with Lady J and Gifted, you know. So how does one make the transition from a singer to a poet?
They're one and the same. I mean, I'm a singer-songwriter, so like I have been writing songs professionally since 12.
Okay.
So I've been like in the industry like since I was younger. So I worked with like Angelo Ray in his camp, and he kind of grew me in that. And then Big Jim, 3 from the Soul.
Okay.
You know, that was my training. Ramsey. You know, so I had all of that kind of around me. So you kind of, when you write songs, poetry, they're hand in hand, you know. Right. And it's all about rhythm, and it's all about delivery, and it's all about conviction and emotion. And so some things sound better spoken, and some things sound better sung. You know, like I can do poetry and I can freestyle sing. Don't ask me to spit bars. Like, don't ask me to rap. It's just, no, it's not good. It's no. But
if they ask you to sing, you can do that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me hear it.
Okay, which one is it?
Yeah, I want to hear a couple of bars or something. You know, this is on the line.
All right,
this is how we do it.
Who do you like?
Shoot. I like Phyllis Hyman. You know, I like Alicia Keys. Who you going to give me?
All right.
Give me Rachel.
You know what I mean? Well, I'm going to give you me. I'm going to sing something from them, but I'm going to give you me.
Okay.
Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby. If it ain't you, baby.
Ooh,
something like that.
I'm glad you stopped, because it's raining. I'm kind of vulnerable in the rain. You know what I'm saying? That was great. And I could tell the earlier influences in your delivery. You know, you had some great influences. Natalie Cole, I'm told, also Reggie and Tootie Calloway.
Yes.
My buddies in school.
I sang back up for Reggie too. Martin Ball, I Want to Be Rich. Yes.
Albie Shore.
I did a show with Albie Shore, Christopher Williams, Johnny Gill, Sherelle, most recently last year. Like quite a Jennifer Sullivan, I opened for her.
Okay.
So quite a few.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
Wow.
Keith Washington. Sorry, Keith. Hi, Keith. You too.
Yeah, Keith is amazing. He's amazing. So why is it, you know, and I ask this often of artists when they come on the show, because, you know, I'm also an artist. I'm not a singer, but I'm an artist. And I do plays and that type of thing. And so that's where my interest lies. And what I find that's, you know, indicative of this city is that, you know, it's such a tight-knit group within the artist community. And it takes almost a sledgehammer to knock down doors to really like get in and really be embraced and to share projects. And can you speak to that?
Buddy, I always tell people I support you when I see you, but I don't support you. You know, kind of out of sight, out of mind, and I don't understand why that is. It makes absolutely no sense with the amount of talent that we have here, the amount of power that and impact that Cincinnati itself has had on the industry as a whole. You know, from Sarah Jessica Parker to like Babyface to Hits to James Brown and Bootsy. So you have all those different influences here. I think that you know,
rest in peace, Will.
The list goes on and on and on. I feel that it is one of those things where we get bored. And you get to a point to where it's kind of, I call it the Amadou syndrome. So if I know that you have a show every week, I'm gonna go on Friday. Ooh, it's raining. I don't feel like going out. I'm gonna go next week. Then I'm gonna go the week after that. And then I never go. Well, then if it's 20 other people doing the exact same thing, it never happens. And then it ceases to be there, and then everyone was complaining about it's nothing to do.
Right.
You know, but if you don't get up and get out there and support those things to do, they won't be here. Just like if you don't eat in the morning, you're gonna be hungry. You know, and eventually if you don't feed yourself, you ain't gonna be here. So it's kind of, you know, it's kind of one of those things. I think that the intention is there and the spirit is there. I don't want to believe about my city that we don't want to see ourselves win. So I don't want to accept that. But I do think that we take for granted, oh, okay, well, 50 people said they were going, they won't miss me. But what if the other 49 are saying the exact same thing? Right. So just go, you know?
And I got to agree with you. I don't think that it's a thing where we don't want to see each other succeed. I just think that it's, you know, we're so entrenched in this, exactly what you said, this, well, I don't want to go today, it's raining, it's snowing. We don't have the same spirit here as they do, say, in a city such as Chicago or Atlanta. You know, the bigger cities, the faster cities. We have the talent.
Right.
We've got the same talent now. You know, I mean, it's busting at the seams here. You know, everyone from singers and musicians to actors and actresses and writers, Lee Zellers, my God, Robert Jones. Yeah. You know, some unbelievable talent here. Unbelievable. And, you know, we're just lacking that one little element. You know, it's been my suggestion, and Nahamani probably can tell you later, that we all just get together. We all just say one day, like, let's just get together. Let's just get all the singers, all the dancers, all the black actors, and let's get together and let's do something. Let's do a play. Let's do a movie. Let's do something. Let's just do it. And I don't care who comes, but let us just get someplace and do it, because you know it's the old adage, if you build it, they'll come. They'll come. Especially if they hear you sing that Alicia Keys, they gonna come. They gonna be there. So just moving along, let's talk a little bit about your project with the Girlfriends Group.
Inga Anderson, hey Inga, is the founder of the Girlfriends Networking Group. Okay. She also does Cincinnati Hip Hop Spin, and we kind of met through, she contacted me to do one of her spin classes for her, and that's how we actually like physically met. And I'm like, sure, great, I would love to. So I went, and the class is amazing. People go. But I went to the class, and so she was like, you know, I have this Girlfriend Networking Group, and I kind of want to help you, because I do everything on my own. Like, I manage, I write, I like book the shows, I'm, you know, doing the set list. So I do everything on my own. So a lot of things kind of fall by the wayside. And so for me, it's social media. Like, I can, if it's on my phone, I can get to it right away while I'm doing other things. But that was kind of like my Achilles heel. And so she was like, let me help you with that.
So is that a trust issue for you, you know, in terms of you wanting to do everything or being in a position to where you have to do everything? I know for me, you know, when I have a project, you know, it's kind of like, that's my baby. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I don't want to let anybody in.
Right.
It's just, that's my baby.
Right.
You know, do you feel the same way, or?
I do feel the same way. I would say it's a mixture of both. I am getting better at delegating personal things, but you know, I was raised at the thing, no one's gonna go as hard for you as you would.
Right.
You know, no one's gonna fight for you like you would. And so, you know, you sit there and you leave it. And I mean, I've had managers before, and you know, they may not make the moves or get you where you gotta go or understand what other sacrifices you have to make to do these things. And so I found it easier to make it happen, and I had to make it happen, literally make it happen, because I mean, no one's getting any younger, you know. So it was do or die, and so I'm glad I did it. So now I'm to a point now to where I'm like, okay, you can go ahead and book this show. It's fine. Just let me know. I got this, and we'll do this. And so Inga's been really instrumental in, you know, getting me kind of out there, and we just clicked. I don't know if it's because our names are almost exactly the same or what it is.
Right. Okay.
But you know, we just clicked, and you know, everything's been a beautiful, wonderful experience so far. So you know, I'm grateful for it. And the Girlfriends Networking Group, I think, is a phenomenal organization to empower us to, you know, stick together, especially as women in the industry, to help each other climb up the ladder instead of like the crab barrel syndrome that they seem to think is synonymous with females. Men don't get that rap, but women tend to get that rap, and so I'm glad to see us kind of, you know, stepping away from that.
I don't know. Men kind of, you know, do some crabby stuff as well.
They do, but
so,
you know,
I love my brothers, but I got to tell the truth. I got to be honest.
You know, people make those comments like, I don't want to work with no whole bunch of women, because you know, so it'll be that situation. You don't really get, I don't want to work with a whole bunch of men. You don't get that. I'm just saying. So, you know, it's just knocking down those barriers and basically, you know, women empowerment, yes. Not over the top feminist, but definitely, you know, sisters are doing it for themselves, for lack of a better word, and you know.
Okay, and I like that. I like that. So is it primarily geared just towards sisters that are in the industry, or, you know, can a young sister sitting at home, you know, that's undirected, has no idea as to which way she wants, she may be teetered. You know, wanted to do a little something in the arts, maybe not. What would you say to that person?
I would say definitely come to events and you know, introduce yourself to Inga or any of the organizations that are involved. Because I mean, there's clothing lines, there's makeup artists, there's poets, there are playwrights, book writers. So I mean, there are so many different facets of things that you can do. And just, you know, express your interest. And I think, you know, being amongst your peers, you might get that inspiration and get inspired. I mean, everybody has a spark from somewhere, from somebody else, that ignited something within them to burn that fire and do whatever it is they're doing. So I say just, you know, come out. Because a lot of the events are, you know, open to the public, or, you know, are, you know, the ones where there's a fee involved. Definitely come out and see what it's about and see if it's something you want to be, you know, a part of.
Right. And I like that. And that's what I was getting at. It's the cultivation of whatever talent you possess. And it's women supporting other women. You support men as well.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
So a brother can come and get some help.
You know, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you have to talk to Inga about that, because that's totally her baby. That's her organization, so that would be an Inga answer. But you know, I don't think that she'll be like, no, don't talk to me. You know, she's not that kind of person at all. She's you know, a very genuine soul, and very smart, intelligent, beautiful, and just very positive. And she really wants to see the best out of anyone that she comes across. So you know, to even just be around someone like that is a blessing within itself. So just for that reason,
right?
You know,
it definitely is. You know, it's so refreshing to have guests on the show that's younger in years. You know, the show, our young females out there, they can do much more. I've been on this quest the last month or so, you know, because I was driving down, I believe it was down Forest one day, and I saw a little young sister, you know, and they were kind of loud and tugging on some young brothers that had their pants sagging, you know, and this is what I like for my young sisters to see, you know, and also for the young brothers, because, you know, we get an idea of what women are supposed to look like,
Mhm.
what women are supposed to dress like, and how they're supposed to present themselves. You know, because we're queens, and you're definitely a queen.
Thank you.
You're definitely a queen.
Thank
So,
you.
you know, any young sisters watching this, please take note. You don't have to be stuck in a rut. You know, you can do something, and she's here to help us. Let's talk a little bit about your family.
Mhm.
You know, you mentioned earlier that you recently, how long have you been married?
No, I'm happily divorced.
Ah,
It's a wonderful
you just
thing,
said married,
divorce.
though. So-
I said that when I got married,
Yeah,
I
okay.
moved away.
Okay.
Past tense, no.
Okay.
But no, happily divorced. You know, my son and I, you know, are extremely close,
Mhm.
and you know, he's my everything.
Okay.
And so he'll actually be singing with me. He'll be singing backup for me at Taste in Cincinnati, although he's nervous. But he,
Really?
yes. So he's totes. He looks like his dad. He's big like his dad, but he totally acts like me, which
But that's
good
okay.
thing.
That's okay. So he's saying, how old is he?
he'll be 17 on the 20th.
17? You have a son 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You don't look too far away from 17 years
Bless
old.
I'm
But
not. But
Trying
cut
to
that
get-
part out.
Trying to
No.
get a return, yes. You know, so,
No, I got married my senior year of college. So,
Okay.
you know, I got married at like 19. So, I mean, I had him at 21. So, you know, got married young. I'm glad that I had him young because now I can just do what I need to do and he's good.
and you can enjoy it.
And I can enjoy it, but I'm glad I had him, you know, as a young adult. So let me be clear on that. I'm glad I had him as a young adult. I think
Okay.
that, you know, it's important for you to know who you are and before you do start your family. But that's just me. No judgment. Just saying.
Mhm.
It's you know, it's better that way. I want nobody to be like, well, Ingrid said she had her kid when she was young. Don't put that on me.
She said young adult.
Young adult.
Responsible, making
Correct.
responsible decisions
You know.
and choices, and that's great. So, how many brothers and sisters?
I have surviving. I have my little brother Yusuf, and then my dad has children. So I have 6 brothers on my dad's side. That are all older. I'm kind of in the middle of the group there. So you know, getting to know him because I didn't meet him till later in life. You know, I have relationships with them, and then my mom. The year that my first EP came out, I lost my mother and my brother 3 days apart, and then 6 months later we lost Don. So that wasn't the best year for me. So I kind of didn't promote, and I kind of reclused and did shows sparingly. And so now with this new music that is coming out, because I have a single that drops on Tuesday. So with the new music that's coming out and the place that I am in life at this point, you know, I'm kind of back to pick up like where I left off, because before, like, you couldn't look up without me doing something somewhere, and I kind of had to slow down and take time to heal from that.
Right.
You know.
You're right. And you said that your piece was going to drop on Tuesday
Mhm.
of this week. Now, is that a mixture of poetry and singing?
This one is all singing. So my last EP, as well as this one that's coming out, but it's all singing. My live stage shows are a mixture. So like when I do erotic poetry at Jack's Casino on the 8th, that'll be a mixture of music and poetry.
Right. Now hold it right there. Hold it right there, because I've been waiting to get to this erotic poetry thing.
Mhm.
You know, you had an event. When was that? Last month?
Yes.
And somehow, Nahamani, I got turned around and I was somewhere, but I missed it. And I look on Facebook, and I was shocked too. Brother
I'm
was shocked.
sorry.
And you know, it was the all-white erotic party.
It was the all-white event. Yes.
Oh my God! And I saw the pictures on Facebook. You guys had a blast.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Lot of fun.
So what date is this next one?
The next one is June 8th at Jack's Casino, and you can get the tickets on Eventbrite. So they're on sale at eventbrite.com under erotic poetry, and you can go to my page, the Ingrid Rachel Project, on Facebook, or you can go to Girlfriends Networking Groups page to get the links to those.
Okay, I'm glad you plugged that. Now, what does erotic poetry sound like?
It depends on who's saying it. You know, intimacy and eroticism is different. It's subjective. It's a personal experience. So, you know, intimacy to you could be holding hands. Intimacy to someone else could be going at it completely. And so you'll have that broad spectrum. I would say my piece of it, like my side of it, I am kind of, I'm funny.
Go on,
so
tell it, girl. Go on, tell it.
I'm trying to figure out how to say it. But mine has like some humor into it. It is descriptive but not too raunchy. You have some that are, and that's your comfort zone. So I just go based off of my comfort zone, and I just kind of share real life experiences through my poetry. And it was funny because that last show, the pieces that I had prepared, when I got there, I just got a different vibe and wrote like 3 other ones on the spot and did
Can you
those.
give me a couple of seconds of one?
Sure.
Your favorite, one of your favorites. Give us a couple of seconds.
Okay. Wait a minute. I had a feeling you might do that. That's why I brought this, because I'm not.
Listen, when
one
you're
of
on the line, you got to have a feeling that I might do some of anything.
There it is. Those hands, those feet, that voice so deep, that swag in your step that catches the eye, the look in your eyes that says, you know you're the shit. Am I allowed to cuss on you?
Come on, girl,
Okay.
it's on the line.
I needed to ask because I don't want to get bleep. You know, that ain't
Put
good.
that out there.
Put a bleep out of big soup coolers. That's not good. Okay. Those hands, those feet, that voice so deep, that swag in your step that catches the eye, the look in your eyes that say, you know you the shit. Big strong arms that hold me close and those lips. Oh, they kiss every inch of me. Just soft enough, just moist enough to make me squirm, tickle.
Oh my God, I want more, so you're going to have to come back. Well, listen, hey, if you don't do anything else for yourself, get down to Jack's Casino on June
the 8th.
June the 8th.
And I have Taste of Cincinnati, May the 27th from 3 to 6, so that's next weekend, Memorial Day weekend. And then I'm also doing the Redmore later that month with Big Jim, the 22nd of June.
She's busy, y'all.
I'm busy.
She's busy. She's
to my
back
Facebook
out
page.
there. This is Britton NewOne Carter, and this has been On the Line. Peace.